So today we are going to learn about list comprehension in Python. What is it and how we can replace traditional for loop using the list comprehension. So basically it is a compact way to process all of the element from a list and return a new list using some computations. So it is often used to replace loops and map function with a more concise syntax. So the syntax for list comprehension is like we have one expression, we have one iterable on which we will do a for loop, and we have some conditions based on which we can filter out the elements which we don't want in the final list, and all of this will be under square brackets. So let's see some example of it and how it works. Okay, so let's say we want to calculate the square of all the elements in a list. So if we use it using our traditional loop, the code will look something like this. So basically here we will have one empty list square where we are going to append the elements after the calculating the squares. So basically we are iterating through all the elements from range 1 to 6, and we are appending the square of those element in this, and we are going to print this. So if we run this, you see we have a square of all the element in list. But the same code how we can write in a list comprehension is in a more compact way. So let's say we have numbers like this 1 2 3 4 5, and we want to calculate the square. So using list comprehension we can write all this in one liner. So instead of number here, we can also put the same thing range from 1 to 6. So let's run it and see we have the same result using list comprehension. So here we can modify number with range 1, 6, and if we run this we will get the same result. Okay, so let's see another example. We want to with some conditions we want to filter out even numbers from the list. So how we can do that? So let's say this is our code. Here we have number from 1 to 6. Again we can modify this number here using our range function. So basically we have this expression x, and for each element in the iterable for x in numbers, and we have our if condition. If the number is divisible by 2, it means it's an even number, and we can take all this and we can put it into the even numbers list basically. So if we run this, you can see we have all the even numbers from that list from 1 to 6. So see this is very concise way. Instead of writing all these loops and all, we can write list comprehension in one line and we can get our results back. So let's see one more complex example where we want to create a 2D list of element using 2 loops. So we have the code something like this. So here we have a list multiple which is our final list. We are looping through we have 2 loops. One is I and one is j from range 1 to 6. We want to calculate the multiplication of them, and we will put that into the final list. And if we see the final result how it looks, so basically it's a 2D list. Let's say we want to print this, and if we run this, you can see we have a list of list where we have multiplication for I and j. Now you see this has around 7-8 lines of code to calculate the 2D list. The same thing we can do in one line using our list comprehension. So how we can achieve that? So we can achieve that something like this. So we have loops, inner loop which is j in range this, we will calculate the multiplication from each element of I, and then we will create the 2D list using this. If we run this, we will have the same result. See how it is very easy to write this list comprehension and get our result back same as our traditional loop. So list comprehension provides us this facility. Okay, let's see one more example where we are, let's see we want to convert all the elements in a list to uppercase. So how we can achieve that using list comprehension is something like this. We have our words, 3 words in a list. What we can do is, this is our expression we want to convert to upper, and this is our loop to the iterable words. If we run this, you can see all of the words are converted to uppercase in a single line. So list comprehension makes the life easy while writing a simple use case instead of using our traditional for loop. Okay. So this is one thing. So what is the benefit of using list comprehension over traditional loop, right? So one is lower overhead. How list comprehension, it is optimized for creating list where for loops have additional overhead because Python needs to handle the loop. It needs append operation and functions call in every operation, every iteration. If you see our code here, in traditional loop we need to create our list, we need some append operations, so it create extra overhead, right? But in using list comprehension, we don't have this much of code to create the list and then append it the final result. So that's why it's a lower overhead basically. Okay, next is locality of reference. So what is it? So basically in this, the Python interpreter has to process everything in one operation. So in list comprehension, but in a for loop there is a lots of bookkeeping, like we need to create list, we need to append it, then we need to manage the counter and all. So that's why it's a bit faster than the traditional loop. Okay. Next is less function call. Again the same thing, we don't have anything like append and all if we use our list comprehension, and it avoids the multiple functions call by handling everything in a single step. So these are some of the benefits of list comprehension. So if we recap, so list comprehension is a powerful tool in Python that can simplify our code, and only we should use it whenever we want to enhance the readability of the code, but we should not use list comprehension if the logic is very complex, right? So it should be simple and easy to understand. We can use it for simple operation like filtering or mapping or transforming list like this. Okay. So this is all about list comprehension. I hope you like this video. If you found this video useful, then don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more Python tips and tutorials. Thank you.